A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. Great crowds were traveling with Jesus, and he turned and addressed them. If anyone comes to me without hating his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not carry his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Which of you wishing to construct a tower does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if there is enough for its completion? Otherwise, after laying the foundation and finding himself unable to finish the work, the onlookers should laugh at him and say, "This one began to build, but did not have the resources to finish." Or what king marching into battle would not first sit down and decide whether with 10,000 troops he can successfully oppose another king advancing upon him with 20,000 troops? But if not, while he is still far away, he will send a delegation to ask for peace terms. In the same way, any one of you who does not renounce all his possessions cannot be my disciple. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
The so-called bandwagon effect connotes popular acclaim given to a leader or a group who has attained a celebrity status. Throngs of people usually surround and follow their idol, and such gathering or movement could end in a mass hysteria. Jesus dislikes this kind of crowds who seek their celebrity idols mindlessly and follow them blindly. If people follow behind Jesus, he wants to be sure that they are enlightened and are following him for the right reason. He honestly speaks of the necessity of carrying the cross in one's life as a precondition of discipleship. At that time, the cross was not yet revered as the symbol of redemption and resurrection as we know it today. It was yet the symbol of oppression, cruelty, punishment, and death and disgrace. To mention the cross was a big turn-off to people who wanted to be his followers. Peter knows how unpopular the talk about the cross is, so that at one point, he remonstrates to Jesus and warns him not to speak about death or the cross if he wants to keep his numerous followers. Jesus reprimands Peter and identifies him to be Satan, since he tries to pull Jesus away from the cross, thus sabotaging the Father's plan. In plain and simple words, Jesus wants the large crowds to realize the cost of true discipleship. Our loud protestation of faith in God or our pious words and actions will never be sufficient. To follow Jesus requires our unwavering and utmost allegiance to his person and full obedience to his will. We cannot claim to be following the Lord while insisting on our own life projects. Our commitment to other cause or person should only be secondary. To be disciples of Jesus comes at a great price, and Jesus compares the process to the tedious and expensive task of building a tower. One embarks on such a project only after a realistic assessment of one's resources. Do we have the inner freedom to cut ourselves from our closest relations like family members? Or to abandon our well-laid plans, if only to allow God's own plan, and not our own, to dominate our lives? We have to build on our belief and trust in God. Our admiration towards him ought to surpass our admiration towards anything or anyone else. Jesus also compares true discipleship to a king who is set to go on a battle. He must have an accurate head count of his troops and a realistic assessment of his chance for victory. If the prospect for victory is slim, then the more prudent option is to negotiate for peace with the enemy. We need to make an honest assessment of our own desire to serve the Lord as his disciples. We need to conquer our human limitations like our doubts, anxieties, and our lack of faith and trust in God. We need to ask him to help us grow where we are spiritually deficient, so that we can truly surrender and entrust our life in his mercy.